Oh no, I was already about to click on it. Thank you for the reminder, though. See, I was already there. Well, welcome everybody. Bienvenidos a todos. Today is chapter one. Hoy comienza capítulo uno. So today's chapter one, like I mentioned to you guys, is pretty short, and we will be talking about the overview of the Form 1040. So, in case, just as a reminder, the Form 1040 is the individual tax return. That's the main tax return that everybody files. The majority of the people in the US, well, pretty much everybody files it. So Form 1040 is referred to as an individual tax return. So that means a business such as, let's say, Walmart will not use a Form 1040 to do their taxes. Entonces, el formulario 1040 es el formulario que mucha gente usa para hacer su declaración de impuestos. Es individual. Entonces, un ejemplo que voy a dar ahorita es la Walmart. La Walmart no va a usar el formulario 1040 para hacer su declaración de impuestos, sino que van a usar su otro formulario para hacer sus taxes. Pero el formulario 1040 es para el individual. So again, for individual. Here you go. Let's get started. So the Form 1040. Has anybody, whenever you do your taxes, has anybody even looked at the paperwork that you guys get? Let's be honest. How many of you look at the paperwork? Not just look at your refund, but look at your paperwork. Entonces, ¿cuántos de ustedes sí miran sus documentos cuando hacen sus taxes? No solamente me estoy refiriendo a lo que es de sus reembolsos, pero también lo que me refiero a sus documentos. Everybody, right? Everybody looks at it. So that's what the Form 1040. I see some people are driving and it looks like a gentleman right there is at work. Hola, Julian. Hello. Yeah, he's at work. Look at him hustling and studying. Man. And then, of course, Maria's always driving. Nah, just kidding. All right. So, Form 1040, el formulario 1040. When it comes to the Form 1040, let me click that. There you go. The Form 1040 is a standard form used by US taxpayers to file their annual income tax returns with the IRS. So again, this is for you guys, individuals, the taxpayers. And you have to file this form every single year whenever you have earned income or even unearned income. Let's say, for example, unemployment. If you only receive unemployment the entire year, guess what? You do have to file a tax return. You have to report your unemployment income. Okay. But this is the form that we all use, which is the Form 1040. Entonces, el formulario 1040 es el formulario que todos usan para hacer su declaración de impuestos. Es el formulario estándar que utiliza la mayoría de la gente en los Estados Unidos o toda la gente que trabaja en los Estados Unidos para hacer su declaración de impuestos. What is it that we need for the Form 1040? ¿Qué es lo que necesitamos para el formulario 1040? Well, it doesn't require a lot of information to begin with. That's really difficult to obtain. No requiere mucha información que es difícil para obtener. We pretty much need the person's first name. Necesitamos el nombre primero de la persona, the last name, the social security, the address. Entonces, como pueden ver, nada más necesitamos el nombre, apellido, seguro social, el domicilio. You guys will learn about something called ITINs as well. So here in the US, I believe it's over like 20 million people. Yeah, I believe it is over 20 million. 20 million. There's over 20 million people who do taxes who don't have a valid social. And they will come to you for help to obtain an ITIN. And that could be anybody, it could be from any country that will be coming in who do not have a valid social. And they will come to you asking for help to get an ITIN. You could help them get an ITIN. It's not even that hard of a process. But once they obtain their ITIN, we would need to list it on the tax return. So again, as you can see, this is the basic information we need. So we don't need much stuff that's going to be difficult to obtain. Entonces, como ven aquí, la información que se le va obtener del cliente. Puede ser, va a ser su nombre, domicilio y luego seguro social. Y ustedes va a llegar un momento que ustedes van a tener clientes que necesitan de su ayuda para obtener un número que es un ITIN. Y ese ITIN es fácil para obtenerlo, nomás necesitamos unos documentos para poder hacer ese trámite. Y básicamente es la gente que no puede tener un seguro válido, puede venir a cualquier país aquí a los Estados Unidos para hacer su declaración de impuestos, solamente necesita obtener el ITIN si es que no puede tener un seguro válido. Next thing over is what we talk about is filing statuses. A lot of people don't even know these filing statuses exist. So as you can see, there is a single filing status. So there is a married filing jointly status. There's a married filing separate. There's a head of household, and there's a qualifying widow or widower, or where it says right there, qualifying surviving spouse. Entonces, como ven ahí en la declaración de impuestos, tienen opciones del estatus de declaración de impuestos que básicamente es el soltero, el casado, pero haciendo la declaración de impuestos juntos, casados y separados, cabeza de hogar y el viudo o viuda. So, and by any chance, if you guys know Spanish, and if you don't know some of the terminology for doing taxes, you'll be learning along with me on this one as well. And if you want to learn Spanish, you might as well just write down this stuff right here. So here you go. For single, can anybody give me an idea what it means to be single on the tax return? Anybody?
Not married.
Not married. Exactly. Not married. So you'll get people who will show up to the office sometimes and be like, hey, you know what? I want to do my taxes and I'm married. The moment you hear them say they're married, it's like, well, I need you to file married and filing joint or married filing separate, but you can't file single. So it's not that, you know what? The only thing you do need, for example, when people need to do a tax return as married filing joint, is the marriage certificate. Because keep in mind, clients will come to you, they'll say, hey, you know what? I got married this year, but you know, the spouse is giving you issues, whatever. You can file separate if you choose to. But if you choose not to, then at that point you could do a married filing joint. Now, keep in mind, there is a marriage certificate, so the client will have to bring that information in. Now, it's if a client lies to you and doesn't even disclose the fact that they're married, if they're telling you they're single, then that's not your fault. And keep in mind, it's pretty hard to to tell somebody they're lying, right? Because there is no certificate for you to say that you're single. There's a certificate for you to say you're married. So that's why, like, if somebody gives you this false information saying that they're single, even though they're not, but you have no knowledge of it of any kind, then you're okay. There is no issue with that. As long as you don't have any knowledge, as long as you're not directing them in that direction to do single when you know that they're married. So as long as you have no knowledge, you're good. So just keep that one in mind. Now, when it comes to married filing separately, there's times you would meet people would be like, hey, you know what? I got married. My spouse owes child support. And since they owe child support, I know they're going to take my refund away as well. Or they owe back taxes, and I know they're going to take my refund away as well. So I would like to do married filing separate. So if they do married filing separate, the person that does not owe that kind of money would not get affected. Their refund would still be their refund. The other person, though, whoever owes federal taxes or child support or even owes student loans or owes parking tickets, their refund, if they get one, is going to get garnished, will be taken away. So if they're doing married filing separate. But let's just say, for example, if they do, that well, you will get this, that will happen to you. It's happened to me where I get clients who come in, and you know what? This year they come in, they're doing married. I'm sorry, they're doing single. Next year they come in and they're saying, hey, you know what? I met this person, I fell in love, I got married. Do do do. All right, cool. Let's do my taxes with this person, and then after they file their taxes, they're entitled to a refund. Cool. They process the tax return. And once they process their tax return, about 3 weeks later, you know, they call me, they're like, hey, what's going on with my refund? I have not got a refund at all, no deposits or of any kind. So I went in and checked. And then when I checked, I saw that the refund was garnished. It was taken away, gone. And on the website, if you check the IRS website, it tells you the things that it might be the reason why they took it away. It doesn't say exactly the reason. It just says it could be that they owed student loans, they could have owed federal taxes, they could have owed state taxes, they could have owed child support, they could have owed alimony, right? They could have owed a lot of things, but it won't say exactly what. So when it doesn't say exactly what it is, you just have to tell the client you need to contact the IRS. Well, client contacts IRS, it ends up being that their new spouse owes child support. So that refund that they were entitled to now went to the mom, the other mom, the mom that owed the child support, and the refund's gone. So there is a form that they can file. It's called the injured spouse form. It just takes a while for it to get processed and get that money back of a portion that belongs to them. So married filing separate is a good option for a lot of people who have that kind of situation. One of them is going to owe, or one of them owes any other taxes or any federal government. So I'm sorry, any government entities. So that'd be a good option for them to take if, they don't want to get the refund taken away. Head of household, this is common. I always get a lot of people say I'm the head of household. So what does head of household mean? Does anybody know what head of household mean? Okay. So I'll give you an example. You guys are all single parents. You have a child to take care of. The child is a 10-year-old. Well, you'll be considered to be head of household. Some people think if you're married and your spouse doesn't work and you have a child, some people believe that they are head of household. But when it comes to doing taxes, you're not considered to be head of household. You're considered to be married filing joint, period. For a qualifying widow or widower, that pretty much means you're married, you have a child, and your spouse passes away. You can file a tax return as a qualifying surviving spouse with a dependent, which is a child as a 10-year-old example. In order for you to file qualifying surviving spouse, you must have a child dependent. No, not an adult dependent, but a child dependent. And I'll explain the reasons why in a little bit. But that's what happens right here when your spouse passes away. What up?
22.
I'm sorry? Oh. Okay, entonces los
Under,
yeah, go ahead.
you cannot, they have to be claimed under the qualifying surviving spouse.
The child?
Yes. So
Yeah.
be a child.
Yeah. So let's say, for example, if I'm married and my spouse passes away, but we have a child, then
Right.
I'm going to be doing my taxes as a qualifying surviving spouse with the child dependent. That's the only way I could use that.
Okay.
If that makes sense. If I have a child dependent. If I don't have a child dependent, then I cannot use that. That's
Oh,
tax. If once they pass, I don't, I'm not a qualifying spouse if I don't have a dependent. I'm not a qualified spouse. I'll just be converted to single as a single
okay.
individual. That's it.
Thank
Mhm. So the qualifying surviving spouse is something that helps a lot of people, especially financially, because let's be honest about this. Let's be honest. Nowadays, everybody depends on two sources of income: their income and their spouse's income, right, to take care of a household. So when that happens and they lose a parent, they lose source of income. So then everything gets really hard. So for tax purposes, it helps them on their taxes when they do qualifying surviving spouse, as long as they have a child dependent. So it gives them a little break. And I'll show you guys what the break is in a bit. Entonces, para los estatus que tenemos ahí, los otros para la declaración de impuestos, tenemos de soltero, tenemos casados juntos, casados separados, cabeza de hogar y viudo y viuda. Para poder hacer viudo y viuda, tienes que hacer la declaración de impuestos con un depende niño. Entonces, el depende tiene que ser un niño, una persona bajo la edad de 18. Entonces, si es que tiene un depende que es arriba de la edad de 18, no se puede poner. Mejor póngalo a trabajar, pero no se puede poner. Entonces, si es que es un niño depende pequeño, sí lo pueden poner en los taxes y puede ser viudo y viuda. Entonces, eso es un alivio para la gente que pierde su pareja, porque luego ahí también pierde el ingreso que tienen de la pareja. Entonces, cuando se trata de los impuestos, les ayuda a beneficiar otra deducción que puede ayudarles a ellos. El de casado separado, mucha gente toma esa decisión cuando saben que van a deber. Si una pareja debe dinero, por ejemplo, de años anteriores, y, y usted no quiere hacer esos taxes con la pareja que debe dinero de los años anteriores, o si debe child support, o si debe alimony, entonces mucha gente va a decidir tomar la opción de casados y separados para poder tener su declaración de impuestos como debería ser, que ellos ganen su reembolso y la otra persona que pague lo que deba. Standard deduction. Now, I have a different screen for you guys for the standard deduction. I'll show you guys what it is because this doesn't really explain what it is. So let me show you what the standard deduction is. So standard deduction, la deducción estándar. For every year, there's an adjustment to it. It doesn't stay fixed. It's never the same number. So a standard deduction, if you are somebody who's single, then you're gonna get a automatic deduction on your tax return of $15,000 for the year 2025. If it's the year 2024, it's like 14,600 or 800, something like that. But it changes every year. So if for the year 2025, that means next year when you do your taxes, whenever you do your taxes, and if you're single, you get an automatic deduction of $15,000 on your taxes. So you don't pay taxes on the first $15,000 of income. That's pretty much what it means. If you're married filing jointly, then you do not pay taxes on the first $30,000 of income. So you get a $30,000 deduction on your tax return. So you save yourself the money on 30 grand that you don't have to pay taxes on. And then if you're head of household, you pretty much don't pay taxes on the first $22,500. So again, you save yourself some money there. So, para la gente que es soltera, tiene una deducción automáticamente que es una deducción estándar, que es de $15,000. Eso significa que no vas a pagar los impuestos sobre los $15,000 que tienes allí en tu ingreso, pero ya cualquier dinero que tengas después, eso sí vas a pagar los impuestos. Si eres casado haciéndolos juntos, no vas a pagar los taxes en los primeros $30,000. Si eres cabeza de hogar, no pagas taxes en los primeros $22,500. So anything above those dollar amounts, you will pay taxes on. So if you have an example, if you're married filing joint, if you made $40,000 married filing joint, then you don't pay taxes in the first 30,000, but the remaining balance of the 40,000, which you subtract 30, you left with 10, you have to pay tax on that $10,000 that is left. You won't have to do that. And I see that thank you. Somebody posted on the group chat the standard deduction for each and every single one of them. Thank you for putting everything in detail. So now, how does the standard deduction help? ¿Cómo es que ayuda la deducción estándar? Have you guys ever looked at the tax brackets? ¿Han visto las braquetas de taxes?
So is this where we look every year to check?
Yeah. So every year it changes. So when you look up the tax brackets, I use this one a lot. I use the tax foundation. So I go in there and I use the tax foundation for information. There's a lot of sources you could get the information from. I rather just go to tax foundation myself personally. If you guys want to use it, you guys can use it.
Okay.
But on here, it does break it down. You can even ask what year, 2024, 2023, 2022, whatever year you want. It'll break it down what the standard deduction was at that time, what the brackets were based on your income, because they're always changing. So like an example here, let me give you this example. An example here, a while ago, I said that a couple made $40,000, right? So if a couple made $40,000, technically they will be in the 12% tax bracket. If they're married filing joint. So right here says if they're married filing joint and they're making between 23,850 and 96,950, you're considered to be in the 12% tax bracket. Now, since you're considered to be in the 12% tax bracket, they just have to pay 12%. But because of the standard deduction removes 30,000 when they're married filing joint. It removes $30,000 as a standard deduction on their tax return. So instead of paying taxes on the 40,000, they'll pay taxes on whatever's left after the deduction, the standard deduction. So what's left after the standard deduction? 10,000. So since they only got $10,000 left, they don't have to pay taxes at 12% rate. They just pay taxes at 10% rate. So right there, it doesn't look like a huge savings, right? Because you're only saving yourself 2%. But what if the person was at this level where they're making $98,000 or even $100,000? If they're making $100,000 of income and then you give them a deduction of 30,000, then they drop down to 12%. So that's a whopping 10% off. So that's why it's really helpful to learn about every single bracket that exists and how you can help them. And honestly, like a lot of clients will be like at first kind of stuck when you're explaining this stuff, but once you show them in detail, like, hey, you know what, you can save money by doing it this way, that way. And here's the brackets, you can follow them, and then they'll start loving you even more because they'll be like, wow, you know what the heck you're talking about. And so it helps them a lot. Las deducciones estándares, porque es que sí ayudan muchísimo. Es el ejemplo que les di hace rato de que una persona está casado, ganó 40,000 y la deducción estándar de casados 30,000. Le vas a restar los 30,000 de los 40,000, le van a sobrar 10,000 dólares. Y de esos 10,000 dólares básicamente vas a tener que pagar los impuestos del 10%. En este ejemplo que le di ahorita, imagínate si su cliente gana 100,000 dólares y usted deduce la deducción estándar de 30,000. Ese cliente va a bajar drásticamente 10% hasta el 12% y se va a ahorrar muchísimo dinero en los impuestos. Entonces, por eso es buena idea de aprender de los estándares, los standard deductions y las braquetas de taxes que existen. Yo personalmente uso esta página. Si ustedes quieren usarla, la pueden usar, pero yo uso el Tax Foundation. Y ahí pueden encontrar mucha cosa de información, mucho detalle ahí. Wake up, everybody. All right. Dependents information. La información de los dependes. What is it that we need? Well, we pretty much need the first name, last name, social security number or ITIN, and what's the relationship to you. Entonces, como ven aquí, para la información de los dependes, solamente necesitamos el primer nombre, apellido, seguro social o el ITIN y qué relación tienes a ustedes. So when we start inputting the data and the information on our software, we also need the date of birth. Entonces, cuando estamos poniendo la información en nuestro programa, también necesitamos la fecha de nacimiento. And the reason why we need it is to calculate the proper credits. Y la razón de por qué lo necesitamos es para calcular el crédito apropiado para lo que es. The Form 1040 also has a section where it shows you all income that the client may have. El formulario 1040 también tiene en la parte ahí que enseña todos los ingresos que tiene. So it could be W-2 income, it could be business income, it could be capital gains, it could be retirement, it could be dividends, it could be Social Security. Entonces, como ven ahí, el formulario 1040 también tiene una sección que enseña el ingreso que tiene la persona. Puede ser el ingreso de su trabajo, del W2, puede ser de su negocio, puede ser de intereses, de dividendos, de pensiones, de seguro social, de las ganancias capitales. But this is where we report all sources of income. Now, the IRS literally tells you you have to report all sources of income on your tax return. So that's why they have a lot of lines on this where people have to report their income. Entonces, como ves aquí, el IRS sí requiere que todos reporten todo tipo de ingresos que tenga una persona. Y es por eso que tienen muchísimas líneas aquí para que lo pongan ellos en los taxes. Now, here again, we also have another section for tax and credits. So if the client has any additional taxes to pay or any credits that they can receive, it'll be on this page right here. Now, the way it's broken down, I know it's by section. Ya sé que la manera que está quebrado esto aquí es por secciones. I'll show you guys a full 1040 in a little bit. Les voy a enseñar un formulario 1040. Un momento. Pero aquí va enseñando los taxes que se tiene que pagar y los créditos que puede recibir una persona. Now, this section also shows payments. Payments will be like when people get their federal taxes withheld, in other words, from their paycheck, or if you send in any estimated payments if you have a business. Si un cliente tiene, vamos a decir, por ejemplo, que le quitan taxes de su cheque por su W2, aquí va a enseñar exactamente cuánto le quitaron. Si es que tiene un negocio pequeño y ellos están mandando pagos que se llaman quarterly, que mucha gente le refiere como quarterlies, pues ahí va a demostrar cuánto está pagando, cuánto es que se pagó. On here, you'll also see something called earning a credit. Earning a credit is pretty much a credit that helps a lot of individuals in the US. Unfortunately, anybody who has an ITIN does not qualify for those credits, which are up to $7,000 extra. Entonces, aquí este crédito se llama Earning a Credit, también es un crédito que le ayuda a mucha gente en los Estados Unidos. Si es que tu cliente tiene un número que es un ITIN, desafortunadamente no le ayuda a ellos a obtener ese crédito y pierden un crédito que es hasta $7,000 y algo dólares. Oh, there you go. Refund, the most important line that everybody loves, right? Who doesn't love that line? Refund. So there's a line on the 1040 that you actually could put down your routing number and account number, and if it's a checking or savings. Now, listen up carefully with this one. So if you don't have an account, what's the option that a lot of people take when they don't have a bank account when it comes to a refund? Cuando una persona no tiene una cuenta bancaria y tiene un reembolso, ¿cuál es la opción que toma mucha gente? Normalmente, no tengo cuenta, ¿cómo me van a mandar dinero? What was
Cheque,
that?
cheque.
Yeah, check. Check it. So a lot of people say, hey, I don't have a bank account. IRS, I'm sorry, I don't have an account. Just send me a check. That's what a lot of people say. Entonces, perdón, IRS, no tengo cuenta bancaria. Solamente mándame un cheque y ya es todo. But there's an issue now. There's a problem that came up. Pues hay un problema que salió, que apenas salió. It just barely happened. So anybody who wants a check refund from the IRS, I'm sorry, the IRS will not send you a check anymore. So there's a law that passed. Hay una ley que pasó. Y esa ley es para los reembolsos que tienen del gobierno, que no te van a mandar cheque. So that's for anything that comes from the government, they won't issue you a check anymore. So now what they're doing is they're pushing everybody to obtain a bank account. Ahora lo que van a hacer ellos es van a empujar todos que ganan una cuenta bancaria. And I just noticed that they put down, oh, the government the government's been shut down. IRS is half of it's shut down right now. This is an executive order. It's not orden. And pretty much what they're stating is that they're not going to send any more checks out. If you're getting a check, you won't get a check anymore. Entonces, ellos están básicamente diciendo que si es que agarras si es que tienes un reembolso y es que te van a mandar dinero, no te lo van a mandar en la manera de un cheque. The only way you'll get that money is through direct deposit. La única manera que vas a sacar ese dinero es por direct deposit, debit card, credit card payments, digital wallets, but it has to be anything electronic now. Ahora tiene que ser todo electrónicamente. So if your client does not have an account, guess what? Tell your client to go get an account because the government won't give you a check. They don't even care if you're going to come up with a big old excuse of you not having an account. They don't care. Go get an account. That's what they're going to say. Entonces, el gobierno aquí básicamente no les va a importar si tú dices, ¿sabes qué? No puedo agarrar cuenta bancaria. No les va a importar. El único que te va a decir es que ve y agarra una cuenta bancaria. And I saw a hand up right now. ¿Quién levantó la mano ahorita? A ver.
Yo, Freddy,
A ver qué
it
pasó.
has to be personal bank account o puedo poner, por ejemplo, digamos que yo tengo ITIN, puedo poner el de fulano o esposo o
Tienes,
hermana,
tienes que abrir una
checking
cuenta
account.
bancaria. Tienes que abrir una cuenta bancaria. So you have to open an account.
Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, that's the issue with that. So They phased out the paper checks. And is effective what day? ¿Cuándo pasó la ley? Septiembre 30, September 30th. So how long ago was that? Qué tan lejos fue eso? Ya pasó. Not even that long ago. No fue tan lejos eso. That was just pretty last week. La semana pasada. And you know what the crazy thing is? That they don't even communicate this with anybody in the news. That we
Hi,
should,
Freddie.
yeah.
But she was asking if you could use someone else's account as well.
So the IRS only deposits 3 refunds into each account. So there's times where I see people use it like, hey, you know what? Like, put it in my girlfriend's account, put it in my boyfriend's account. I'll get the money. But I see times when the banks sometimes won't accept the refund because your name is attached to that refund, and sometimes the bank will reject it. So it is best to tell your client, go get an account under your name so that way you get your money right away. But again, the order does say there is no more checks. You will have to get an account. So communicate that with your clients. Actually, as a matter of fact, communicating not even with your clients, communicate with your family, your friends. Because be like, hey, I know you guys haven't heard about it, but the government already passed a law. And the only time that they're really going to talk about this is, and you guys will start hearing it. I could probably see it right now in January. The news will be talking about it. Like, oh, a new law has passed, and you guys will have to get an account. You're going to hear it in January, I guarantee you. But right now, have you guys heard about it? Anybody? You heard about it? Oh, where'd you hear about it from?
I heard about it. It was, I think, on Instagram. I think someone had posted about it like a while back when they were talking about it, but they didn't say like it was passed already or anything.
Yeah, no, it passed. And I saw Chris with his hand up. Yep. So Chris already knows about it. Well, you heard about it, but I haven't heard it much on the news. So it's a good thing for you guys to start spreading the word. Be like, hey guys, yeah, go ahead.
So what if they like refuse? Because I do have some clients where like I told them to they'll get their money faster if they put a bank account, right? And then what if they didn't like, they're completely like, no, I don't want to put my bank account. What if they completely refuse?
The IRS is gonna say we need an account. Now,
Can we still send it out?
you know what?
They just won't get their money.
I don't know what to say because this is the first year to ever do that. So
I think
yeah,
I think for those that still want to check, if you're offering bank products, you can still issue checks through the bank products.
yeah,
So that would be
that's
an
a good
option.
one. So our offices do offer bank products. And so I think I think in one of the events that I had to go present at, they were like, hey, let's talk about bank products. I was like, okay, let's talk about them. You if your office offers a bank product, then a bank product is pretty much direct deposit into that bank is that third party, and that third party sends a check. They could print a check. But let's say if somebody doesn't want to use the bank product because they don't want to pay the extra fees. Now, that's the thing. That would be the concern. It's just more like, okay, well, how can we do it to get them their money, especially when they don't want to open a bank account. Now, I know the bank products that we offer debit cards, we offer paper checks, we offer what you call it, direct deposits. If we deduct the fees from the refund, then we could do that. But if somebody doesn't want to deduct the fees from the refund, if they just want to pay us up front, then I think that's the one that we probably will get an update at the end of the year, maybe, to see what other step we could take on that one. Laura, question?
Yeah.
All right.
In regards to the ITINs, it's best to have a bank account. And the reason why the 5 people that I have with ITIN were so afraid to do their taxes because of all the commotion that's going on. And they received their refunds with no problems at all. No one knocked at their door like everybody was scared of. So that tells you that you can, in a nice way, we can persuade our clients to have the account and how easy it is to go get the account at the bank.
Yeah. So We just gotta just make sure we notify the clients. We just gotta make sure we spread the word and let them know, hey, you know what? Next year, there's no checks. If you get an account, that'll be faster. Now, I see a hand up, but the name says iPhone. So iPhone, do you have a question?
Yeah, it's me, Freddie. Sorry.
Oh, okay, no worries.
The refundo
Yes.
is not an option anymore.
Okay, so Refundo is a company. So our office is using a different company, but yes, that's an option. It's similar to the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but we are offering that. That is the what Chris mentioned, a bank product. So it's the same thing.
All right.
All right. So let's get back to this. Now, another thing, something that a lot of people don't like. We just talked about refunds. There's a line on there as well when people owe. So when people owe, there's a line that tells the client how much they owe. And if there's a penalty, it tells them the penalty amount as well. Now, on this slide, I'm going to show you where the client signs. So there is a section where the clients could sign. So they could sign their name, I'm sorry, they could sign off their date, their occupation, their spouse's signature, same thing. But let me show you the bigger picture because this is just a slide and I already set up something for you guys to see over here on this end. Let me know if you guys can see that Form 1040. So I went online to the IRS website and I pulled up the 1040 for you guys to see. So as you can see, it was the same information I was showing you a while ago. Now down here is what I want to show you. Down here, where the client signs, there's a statement where a client signs off, but before they sign off, a lot of people don't even read this. And anybody who's taken the class, have you guys read this before? Have you guys seen your tax return and read this?
Yes.
You have. All right, perfect. But let's say, for example, it's because of the fact that you do taxes. That's why you read it. Anybody who doesn't work doing taxes right now, have you guys read that? Anybody? ¿No? Cualquier persona que no trabaja en impuestos, ¿lo han leído?
It was read to me when I used to just be a taxpayer and I used to have my taxes done.
That's
It was
good.
always read to me.
That's good. That's good. But not everybody has read it.
I'm not gonna say who did it, but it's green and it's in every block.
All right. So this is what it is. So that right there, the client, el cliente, is signing under penalties of perjury. I declare that I've examined his return and all its schedules and statements, and to the best of my knowledge and belief, they are true, correct, and complete. Declaration of preparer is based on all information which the preparer has any knowledge. So again, if a client comes in, doesn't disclose that they're married, they're only going based off the knowledge you have to prepare this tax return. So technically, you're not wrong for doing it the way you did it, unless you purposely do things that you should not be doing, then you're in the wrong. But in this case, let's say the clients did not tell you that they're single. I'm sorry, that they're married, and they told you they're single. Well, you're doing this declaration is being prepared by you based on the information you have any knowledge on. So that's why you just got to keep that in mind. You got to tell your client, hey, you know what? Anything you're giving me right now, I'm going based off of you. So, it's not like I'm going to say BS this, BS. You're not. You're just going to be like, okay, well, this is the information you gave me. I'm going to work with what you're giving me. Entonces, cualquier cliente que te llegue con los documentos, te den la información, si ellos no te dicen que están casados, cuando están casados y te dicen que están solteros, y tú no sabes que si están casados o no, tú nomás piensas que es soltero porque el cliente dijo que es soltero, no es tu culpa, no eres responsable por eso. Tú estás haciendo una declaración de acuerdo a la información que tú tienes. Have you guys seen it in total before?
That's where the client signs, not us.
That's where the client signs, yeah. The client saying, "Oh yeah, I reviewed everything. I did everything. We're good. That money is mine, my refund." A lot of people just look at the refund and sign. Like they don't Tony, how many times have you got to that, Tony? I see you smiling big time.
Over 100.
Okay, see? A lot. Everybody who does taxes right now, they're like, I know what you mean. It's like, yeah, they just like, here you go, bro. This you're gonna get a $5,000 refund. Like, wait, let me explain. No, no, that's been I'm gone. I gotta go by. Like, all right. What's the filing process? Oh, keep in mind, it's okay, it's up to you guys. Technically, that little slide right now that you saw part 2, I'm supposed to say break, but let me show you guys before you guys decide to go on a break. Entonces, esa parte que está en blanco es cuando yo tengo que decir break. Pero les voy a enseñar algo antes de que les ofrezca el break. Let me show you guys before you guys say, yeah, let's take the break. So, this is the part where we say break, where it says part 2. And then filing process, when to file, how to file, deadline, and that's it. Do you guys want to take a break or should I just wrap it up right now? Because that's the end of it. Who says break? Raise your hand if you want to break. If not,
Let's finish it.
damn, chill.
Let's finish it. We
All
have
right.
to do
Let's
coffee.
finish strong. Look at her. And she's pounding a cup of coffee for that. Look at that. All right. Is that what is that? Triple shot? All right, let's go. Let's finish it. Let's finish strong. I'm trying to keep my voice. Filing process. What information is required? We need forms such as your W-2, 1099s. If you're a small business, we need receipts, checks, or invoices. Like if you have a Schedule C, which let's say you have a side hustle, then we just need that information. If you love gambling, we need your information for gambling. So pretty much any W-2Gs, anything you go from the casino, they'll give you that information there. We also need the bank interest forms. So if you pay interest on a mortgage or if you receive interest from a bank for having an account, we need that. Driver license, we make sure that every time a client comes to us, they always give us a license. We need a government issued ID. A social security card or their ITIN, we need that. And we also need their full name, date of birth, social security, or their ITIN for them, their spouse, and any dependents that they have on their tax return. Now, why is it important to say full name? Why? Because I'll tell you from experience, for some reason, our people will just say, hey, my name is my fulana de tal, whatever, right? Us. But when you really talk to us and we pull out the ID, Fulana Maria Soledad de la Mas de la, we got like a long name, man. We could keep going. It sounds like a rap song, like one of those trap songs. We got names for days. And the client over here would just be like, hey, you know what? I'm sorry, I didn't give you my full name. Well, if we don't put the full name on there, then guess what? The IRS won't accept the tax return. They will say, this is not the person we have on Social Security file. So we need to make sure we have their names. And oh my God, let's make it easy, guys. If we all have an extra kid coming out, or if you get a kid this year or next year, come on, let's make it. You could do middle name, first name, but don't do 2 first names, 2 middle names, and 4 last names. Let's make it easy. It takes us some time to type in all that stuff. And you guys will encounter that this season when you see those names come in. So let's go. It'll save everybody time.
What do we tell clients when they have like their own LLCs and stuff? What do we tell them to bring in?
So when an LLC, it's almost the same thing what I just showed you right now. We need their receipts and statements. If they have a profit and loss, if they don't have a profit or loss, they could get in contact with our bookkeepers. Our bookkeepers will help them organize everything, which is really helpful to have the bookkeepers do because the fact that it will save everybody a lot of time. We need their SOS documents. But that's like something that we do cover. We do cover like the business income in this course, but separately we have another course, which is the corporate course, which is like corporate income. And that's a really big one right there with that course.
Okay.
But usually we just, it's an LLC is just pretty much just like asking you for like your basic stuff. It's not really like, it doesn't require like much more. It does require a good amount of work, but it is not going to require like stuff that a corporation will require.
All right.
Do you mind to say what you say about the loan names in español, please?
Oh,
Gracias.
hey, a lo más fácil, one name, un nombre. Nosotros los latinos siempre decimos, me llamo Isabel María de la Flor Kramer Soledad, I don't know. Pues los latinos es más fácil diciendo nada más un apellido, perdón, un nombre, un segundo nombre, apellido, ya. Pero ya cuando metemos toda la información en el sistema, se nos hace difícil meter todos esos nombres completos. Entonces, mejor que te traigan el seguro social o el ITIN y pon todos los nombres completos porque si no el IRS lo va a rechazar.
Thank you.
All right, that's the information we need for the tax return. How to file? Well, electronic filing is an option, which everybody offers. Private delivery service, which is FedEx, UPS. So that means you could file your tax return electronically. You could send a paper tax return to the IRS through FedEx or UPS, or you could even use the US Post Office, the post office. Entonces, ¿cómo es que vas a mandar esta información al IRS? Es básicamente lo puedes hacer electrónicamente. Lo puedes mandar por FedEx, UPS, o puedes hacerlo por correo. E-filing is always the best way to go. It's a lot faster to get this stuff done. Now, tax professionals, anybody who does taxes, cualquier persona que haga impuestos, that's you guys. If you're going to do 11 tax returns or more, you must e-file them. Si ustedes están pensando hacer 11 declaraciones o más, tú tienes que hacerlos electrónicamente. It's a good thing that all our offices do e-file. Qué bueno que todas las oficinas sí hacen e-file de nosotros. So we do offer that. Now these deadlines are the deadlines for taxes. Ahora, esas fechas de límite son las fechas límite para las declaraciones de impuestos. So, for an individual tax return or 1040, they have until what day to file. Para la declaración de formulario 1040, ¿hasta qué día tienen para hacer la declaración? April 15, abril 15. If they file for an extension, si es que aplican por una extensión, their new deadline is October 15. Su fecha de vencimiento es octubre 15. Now, just keep in mind, when you file an extension, it's only extra time to file your taxes, but it does not give you extra time to pay your taxes. So if you owe them, you got to pay it by April 15. But if you still need more time to finalize your tax return, then you can file for an extension. They'll give you until October 15. Entonces, otra vez, mantengan esto en mente. La fecha del límite para la declaración de impuestos de individuales es abril 15. Si es que necesitas más tiempo, puedes aplicar por una extensión y te la dan hasta octubre 15. Nada más que recuerda que cuando haces una extensión, es solamente te dan extra tiempo para hacer la declaración de impuestos, pero no para pagar los impuestos. Si es que debes, tienes que pagarlos para abril 15 y ya al fin puedes ajustar tus taxes y finalizar todo y más tarde octubre 15. If somebody has a partnership tax return, their deadline is March 17. Well, actually, it should say March 15. I'm sorry. It should say. So March 15 is their deadline every year. A partnership is March 15. Entonces, cualquier declaración de impuestos de socios tiene hasta marzo 15 para hacer la declaración de impuestos. Si hacen una extensión, tienen hasta septiembre 15. So if they file an extension, they have until September 15th. If somebody has a trust or an estate tax return to file, their deadline is April 15. La fecha límite para una persona que tiene un trust o un estate tax return que hacer, la fecha límite es abril 15. The extended deadline will be October 2nd. Si es que aplican por una extensión, sería octubre 2. Very important to communicate this date where a lot of people have partnerships. Anything anything that passes these dates, there will be penalties. Entonces, asegúrense que comuníquense con los clientes bien. Cualquier día pasando esas fechas, hay penalidades. So make sure you communicate those dates for your clients. You will get this slide in the email, so you got it, you'll get it. Entonces, sí van a agarrar ese día dispositivo en su correo electrónico para que no se preocupen, but you will have those deadlines. C Corps. Anybody who has a C Corp will be April 15. Entonces, cualquier persona que tenga una corporación C, sea abril 15, extension wise, extensión will be October 15. Extensión sería octubre 15. If somebody has S corporation, si tiene una corporación S, March 15, marzo 15. Deadline extension, September 15, septiembre 15. Foreign accounts. If you have any foreign accounts, then April 15, abril 15, para las cuentas bancarias que son de extranjero. Now, these here, C Corp, we don't talk about it in this course. We don't talk about S Corps in this course. And we don't talk about partnerships in this course. LLCs, same thing. So we'll bring them up from time to time. We'll mention them. But the LLC, partnership, C Corp, S Corp, we do offer it in a separate class. And that separate class is being offered and it starts November 3rd. And that's being offered by one of the top 20 CPAs in the nation, which she's really good at what she does. And if you guys are interested in taking that course, I would strongly recommend that you guys take it. If you already have a tax business, take it. That's the best investment you could ever do in your life, is expand your business because you are offering that. If you don't offer it, your client, your multi-thousand-dollar client is going to go to someone else that offers it just because you don't. So that's a
Highly
really good course. Sorry, go ahead.
Highly recommend it. This is Richard, by the way.
Highly recommended.
I pay.
Anybody who has taken the corporate courses, they're in this class, they could tell you straight up, it is really recommended because it's really rewarding. So cualquier persona que ha tomado la clase aquí en esas clases que tenemos, esas personas, las personas que han tomado esa clase que es corporativa ya te pueden decir ellos mismos que sí vale la pena tomarse esa clase porque eso sí te ayuda muchísimo a ganar más. Y Richard dijo que te lo recomienda.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome.
Let's take it.
All right. And that's it. Look at that. See, I told you guys, man, we could have done that break and would have been here for a while. But do you guys have any questions in regards to what we covered right now, today? Ustedes tienen preguntas de lo que cubrimos hoy. Anything?
Hey, Alfred, I had a quick question.
Yeah.
Do we offer the sales and use tax service?
At
Do
the
you offer that
offices?
too? Yeah.
Yeah, we do. I think Modesto right there. You're the Modesto one, right?
I will be, I think.
Oh, okay, there you go. So yeah, you talk to Vanessa right there. I think she's on the line right now, but I just saw her screen go off. But yeah, we do offer it there.
Okay.
Chris?
Yeah,
So
Richard.
regarding the extensions, so you mentioned the first deadline for, I'll start with the 1040, is April 15th, and then the extension deadline is October 15th. But that doesn't mean that you don't have to pay, or that you have to pay your taxes still for the 15th. How would you go about that? Do you still need to create a return, a partial return, and submit it, or?
Yeah, so let's say for example, if you're gonna have to file your taxes right now. So you're gonna bring me all your documents, whatever you have. And let's just say you need extra time to organize some things that we need for your deductions, but you don't have everything ready. But you got all your sources of income that came in. So we need to file the tax return. The tax return is gonna show that you owe this much. And then I have to file an extension. Once I file the extension, we have to submit a payment to the IRS and be like, hey, this is what it says that you owe right now. And then when you finalize your tax return in October, if those deductions help you get a refund, then whatever you paid will still stay there as a credit. But when you finalize your tax return, and if you're entitled to a refund, they'll send that money that whatever you overpaid, whatever overpayment is. So that's what a refund is, an overpayment. So whatever overpayment actually belongs to you, they'll refund it back. So it's not like you lose the money, but you have to go
Okay.
based off of whatever information you have at the moment.
Got you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else con any other questions with what we covered today so far? All right, perfect. Looks like everyone's serious. Let's see a big old smile, everybody. Come on, there you go. Look at Richard, big old smile. Man, I can see that thing glowing. Vanessa's glowing. Tony, come, man, you just posing. There you go. There you go. All right. See Myra doing it. Sylvia, I saw somebody send an emoji right now. Just big old emojis. There you go. Thank God. I just saw Tony and Laura chug on coffee right now. So you guys better have a big old smile on your face. You're like, it's decaf.
Lemonade over here.
Lemonade, lemonade. That I think you mispronounced lemon drop, but all right, gotcha.
It's coffee for me. I need to step and study tonight.
Got it. All right. Well, I will email the video for today. I will email the slides over so you guys could go through it and read it. And then very soon you will see, for those who have not seen the course uploaded yet, you will see the courses uploaded there for you guys to finalize. So do you guys have any other questions by any chance in regards to the material that I just covered today? If you do, if there's any, oh, I'm sorry. If there's anything else that you guys could think about, if you want to shoot me a message, you could shoot me a message and be like, hey, I just want to cover this really quick. And then we could just clarify.
Is there a quiz we have to take on the app today?
No, not today, not in chapter 1. But next week you'll start seeing the quizzes popping up. Those are the ones you need.
Okay. I'm still having issues. I'll
Okay.
shoot you a message later.
Okay, perfect. All right. Sounds good then. Well, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Remember, some of these classes will take the full 3 hours, some don't. So this is a good one for you guys. You're not overstressed or anything like that. So stay awake. So next class, I want to see a cup of coffee in everybody's hands.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Freddie. Good night.
Good night.